All right, well, welcome back to Forethought. I am Jason Holston, lead teacher down in Warnick Elementary, and today we're going to take a look at the science curriculum within Forethought, take a look at some of the things that have been added, adjusted, and updated for Forethought. So let's get right into it. Let's go to the Scope and Sequence tab, go to Elementary. We're going to start at 5th grade. That's kind of the focal point for science, and take a look at how that curriculum is structured. If you've looked at any of the other subject areas, you will notice that the structure is pretty much the same. We call this the tree in Forethought, and it is consistent. That is one thing that the curriculum writers were directed to do, is kind of standardize the tree. So hopefully we've done that. Within any of the trees, we'll always start with the teaks. So for science, we have the listing of teaks, and because this is a STAR-tested subject, you do have your teaks that are color-coded, and green being the process skills, red being readiness, and blue being supporting. And so there they are right there. So if you ever need to reference that, you find a teak, that's where they are. We also have the ELPS, the English Language Proficiency Standards, right here. And those are all the 5th grade ELPS. And then we have the CCRS standards, which are K-12, and these are for science. These are the new standards that the state has developed for college and career readiness. And so I definitely encourage you to familiarize yourself with these standards. Very good for guiding you to creating college and career focused activities and lessons. All right, so that's kind of that part of the tree. When you look at the curriculum documents, this is where you'll see most of the difference between the grade levels. Even though we're looking at 5th grade, all the grade levels are structured the same. However, some of the curriculum writers chose to put a variety of activities here, resources in the curriculum documents. However, everyone has a YAG, a year at a glance. We'll take a look at the 5th grade YAG. If we open it up in Word, we'll see that everything is on one page, which is nice. And you will have your reporting periods and the number of days in the reporting periods. Then you will have your units that are covered from within the textbook. And then you will have the TEKS that are covered in that unit, the ELPS, and the CCRS. And that's for each unit, all on one page. Kind of just gives you the big picture right here in the YAG. These curriculum writers also included a pacing guide. And so we'll see here that the pacing guide works a little bit differently. Not every grade level will have a pacing guide, but for 5th grade, this is kind of an important document because there is so much to cover in 5th grade science prior to the STAR test. So we'll see here that what the writers did was they kind of give you the unit that's going to be covered, the rationale for that unit, the target vocabulary, and then some TEK information. Now, this TEK information is very important because it gives you some district data on how we did as a district to allow you to focus in on areas where we may be weak and need some reinforcement. So this document is a little bit longer than the YAG, but it contains a lot of information that will help you with your instruction. All right, so then there is a basic activities section, which basically will point you towards places in your resource toolbox that you as a science teacher probably have, like STEM Scopes or the SciTech Lab, that you can use. And again, this will be kind of just the beginning, and this will be built up over time. As we look in the units themselves, they're all going to be the same structure. You'll start with the rationale. You have any technology or media. Assessments are going to come straight from the Harcourt Fusion text and the assessment resource that goes with it. So this just points you towards that resource. And then in the future we will have model lessons. There are no model lessons right now, but in the future we'll be looking at that. And then after that we go into the content resources of the unit, which is basically again your resources that are in the textbook itself. You'll have your vocabulary, which these writers actually put in the activity, which is nice. You'll just be able to copy paste whatever you want. Some writers used a Word document. Either way works great. You'll have ESL resources that are in the text. Again, GT differentiation and extension is there. And then we have special education modification or differentiation for those students that are built into the text as well. Again, each and every unit is built exactly the same way. So we'll see that the tree is built the same way. And then we can go to a different grade level. So we'll go ahead and look at 4th grade science. And you will see that here the writers just named each unit, which just helps to distinguish them a little bit differently. But the TEKS, the ELPs, the CCRs are all there. The curriculum documents are here, and you can see there's a few other resources. But there's the YAG, the Master Vocabulary List, and then a Science Units apps right there. And then as we go into the unit itself, everything is the same. So if you want to look at what's different, you can go to the content resources and sometimes click on those and see what the writers added as far as that. As far as the vocabulary, it's all pretty much the same. If we go down to 2nd grade, here's where we see a few more resources that were added into the unit. The curriculum documents are the same. But if we get into the actual units, then you can see that in the content resources right here, we scroll down to the bottom. There's quite a few more activities that have been added as far as unit resources. You can kind of click through those, and you can see right here that they have added those, written them out, almost like some model lesson type foundations that could be built upon maybe in the future. So that's nice as well. So a little variety there, but for the most part, science is structured exactly the same way, always focusing back on the textbook as the main resource, but not the only resource. Other resources are built in there. We encourage you to look at those as well. All right, well, that's science, and we hope that this video has been helpful, and you can refer back to it in the future.